Hello and welcome to the second Angels and Demons development update video. Like before, if you're only interested in a certain section of this video, I have timestamps in the description of the video that you can check out. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the ongoing sprite rework, improvements to Overworld Movement, some music related improvements, and quality of life changes. So we'll get the big one out of the way first. The sprite rework is almost totally finished. The main character and Yui have all of their animations finished and ready to go. The only thing that's missing from the sprite rework now is a few specific cutscene animations for other NPC characters. 2 enemies need to be resprited, and then I have a few animations for overworld NPCs to finish. Overall, the sprite rework has been going pretty nicely so far. It's given me a lot of time to actually give some of these characters and enemies a much needed facelift for all of their animations. Like one specifically that comes to mind is the Glutank walking animation. Very broken. Look, like as I was going through and editing it, I noticed that his knee totally bends in the wrong place. It's like he's got 3 joints in the leg, and that's totally not correct at all. Next is Overworld Movement improvements. I could technically write this one off as a quality of life improvement, but I'll mention it here since it applies. The collision system is a lot more accurate and takes advantage of Game Maker's new and improved collision system. Realistically, it's not something that you as a player will notice, rather something that I did because I wanted it done. It just kind of makes everything look a little bit nicer. But the biggest improvement to Overworld Movement is the addition of slopes. I struggled with the implementation of slopes quite a bit in development, but now it's at a state that I'm pretty much happy with. All I need to do now is make certain interactions with slopes look and feel correct, like sliding down a slope or dashing off of a slope and stuff like that. Now I'm going to talk about some music related improvements. The metronome object, which handles a lot of the music synchronization things for the battles and rhythm game, has been updated to be global now. So what that means is it's going to be running every single area in the game, and it will sync up with whatever track is playing. In its current state, the global metronome doesn't really have a use. It's mostly just a preemptive addition. However, the metronome has been updated to be 4 times more accurate than its older counterpart. And this will allow me to do a lot more with rhythm game charts and music synchronization in the future. One specific thing that I can think of that this new and improved metronome will allow me to use is swing tempo, so we'll get a lot more groovy music in the future. On the topic of music, I wrote a small Java application that will convert an Osu Mania 4-key beat map to the same format that Angels and Demons uses. Now you may be thinking, Journoid, bro, that's a waste of time. Why would you waste a few hours writing a Java program to convert Osumania beat maps to Angels and Demons? Well, I'm glad that I implied that you asked. So there's 2 factors that go into this. One is how I was actually charting the maps beforehand, and 2 is the fact that the older metronome was way less accurate. So the old way of charting these maps requires me to open up FL Studio and open up the song project file and look at the bar and note position of each individual note that I'm trying to chart into Angels and Demons. Not only is this insanely tedious, but it's also very prone to error on my end. So the old metronome only had 16 possible positions for a note in one bar. The new metronome has 64 possible positions. So to keep using this method of charting maps for Angels and Demons, I would have to take into account some very, very precise notes from FL Studio, very prone to error. So instead, I took about 2 hours to write a small program that will take an Osumania beat map and convert it to the exact format that I need to use for Angels and Demons. And what that does is it allows me to use Osu's built-in map creator to chart all the songs for Angels and Demons. Then I just take the Osu beat map and run it through my program, and it spits out the GML code that I need, and I just plug and play into Angels and Demons, and it just works. So now a job that has normally taken me like 2 days to complete has been reduced down to taking only a few hours. So here's a teaser of a song and chart that'll be coming sometime in Chapter 2. So finally, I'm going to talk about some quality of life changes that I've been working on. First up is camera smoothness. I have optimized the code that makes the camera zoom in and out in certain cutscenes, while also improving how the internal resolution is managed. It's a very subtle change, but you might notice it if you look real close and have a high resolution monitor. So the internal resolution of the game is 960 by 540, and that was typically locked. Even if you went full screen, it would still run at 960 by 540. But now the window size adjusts depending on your resolution or what you set it to in the settings, and you could set it to 1080p, 4K and whatnot, and certain fine animations will appear a lot smoother because of that. Next up is a settings slider. This will allow you to adjust the background music volume, sound effect volume, and the frames per second to a much more fine amount as opposed to the preset amounts that are in the current game. And finally, we have sprite visibility. In the Sprite Rework, I've also been tweaking some of the tile sets and lighting and everything in certain areas to make it appear more visible to the player. So certain background elements will appear more as background elements, and foreground elements, like stuff that you could stand on or interact with, will be more pronounced than it was before. That's about all I have for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment letting me know what you think about these changes and if you have any critique or suggestions. If you're interested in watching the development process, I do stream on Twitch, and you can find links to my Twitch, the Angels and Demons Discord, and all of my other social media platforms in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you will tune in to the next Angels and Demons development update video.